How you doing, guys? Dragon Man here, and we're going to start up my Dragon motor. I got everything adjusted, and I just want to show you it starts right up and runs great. So let's get it going. Okay guys, what I want to show you is after the motor warms up, you got to torque the heads. It's 65 pounds. The way to get in between the cylinders, the push rods and stuff, is with an adjustable socket, just like that. And if you have the S&S head bolts, it's 7/16. If you have the Harley ones, it's 9/16. And let's see what else we got here. We got a lot to talk about here. Okay, so anyway, this is a big ball motor with 4 1/4 inch stroke, and we shaved the flywheels here too. See, these are shaved flywheels. See how thin it is? If you want faster RPMs, you could shave the flywheels. This is a stock left-hand flywheel, and see where it's black? That's how much metal we take off. You'll definitely get faster RPMs. The only thing you lose is the torque. Okay? If you want high compression in your motor, and you're not going to balance the flywheels, see, these are those expensive pistons, like $450 pistons, and they're a lot heavier, you know, than the stock piston. This is the stock piston, 8.5 to 1. If you want to make this 9.5 to 1 and don't throw off the balancing, all we do is cut down the gasket surface, 50 thousandths of an inch, right? Every 50 thousandths of an inch lower creates another 1.5 to 1 compression. Okay? Over here we put Timken bearings. It's no good to mix the Timken bearings with the spacer. Here, see these spacers here? The spacer puts the load on the bearing. So if you mismatch everything, the bearing's going to get hot and wear out a lot faster. On the spring sets, I like to set the springs at 175 pounds valve to seat pressure. We only use stainless steel nitrated valves for the unleaded gas. See that? And we use Amconite valve guides. They won't stick with the unleaded gas. And let's see, you got to remember there are 3 different breather gears. See the holes? They got to line up, you know, with the motor case holes. Here, see, like this one here only has 1. This is the real early one. This one here is from the 60s and 70s. And then we have the later one. See, the holes are different. If you mismatch the breather gear, the lower end is going to fill up with oil. Okay? I install nickel alloyed seats. These are 80% nickel seats. They're like lifetime seats. You can't even cut them with a torch. They'll last forever. Okay? I always recommend in the summer 70 weight oil. In the spring and the fall 60 weight. In the winter 50 weight. Always straight weight for shovel heads and pan heads and knuckle heads. Always straight weight. If you go to Harley and buy those, the 50-20 weight oil, when the motor heats up, it's going to go down to 20 weight, and it's going to leak out all the gaskets. So that's no good. Okay, when we rebuild the connecting rods and I rebuild the motor, this is the Harley crank pin. It only has 1, see, oil hole. There are 3 sets of bearings on the connecting rods, 54 turns and roller bearings. I always use the 3-hole crank pins. Okay? Now, one thing a lot of guys make a mistake is when they chrome exchange their cover or change the bushing in here, there's 2 different bushings that actually fit in there, right? And let me show you the difference. This goes from all the motors, like 1965 and up. Okay, this is the side oiler. See, it's got a hole there. That means the pinion shaft has to have a side hole there to get oil. You know, as it rotates, it gets oil in there, right? Now, if you put the wrong bushing in there, see, this bushing doesn't go with that pinion shaft. See, there's no hole because this one is a straight oiler. See, the oil goes straight through, not on the side. So a lot of guys do that. They put the wrong bushing in, they get the wrong cam cover, and the motor seizes up probably in about 8 minutes. Okay? Let's see. I'm a big fan of points. I really don't like electronic ignition. You could get 6-cylinder Chevy points anywhere in the world, right? If you get stuck, you could always change them, right? Electronic ignition, the thing burns out, the magic box in the front, you have to walk home. Okay, so when you set your points up, there's a little tool I made here. See, we just cut that open like that, pair of pliers, so you could reach in there and turn the automatic advance. See it? And the way to set up the points, first thing you do is you set up the points at 18 thousandths of an inch on the high lobe, and then you put it in the motor, either if it's a shovel head late or early, and you advance that and turn the circuit breaker until the points are just starting to open, and then you lock the plate down. See that? And that's the way you set the timing with the points. Okay? Now to set the timing on the motor is you have to go up to 360 degrees all the way around with your flywheels. What you're looking in the flywheel hole is this mark right here. This is the front cylinder, that's the back cylinder. This is 7/16, 437 thousandths before top dead center. Okay, that's what you want. Okay, and to make sure you got it not 180 degrees off, the two front push rods have to spin. If one up and one down, you have to go another revolution, right? And then you set your timing, so the points are just starting to open. Okay, the torque specifications on the heads are 65 pounds. And okay, if you have dual spark plugs or an early motor, it'll take the 9/16 14mm spark plug. I like the Champion spark plugs, and I gap them right around 25 points at 18. Okay, now let's see what we got here. Okay, cams. This is a short duration cam, 2.44 duration, and I like those for street bikes because it gives you all the power when the light changes. Okay, if you have a longer duration cam, see like that, higher and longer, it keeps the valves open longer, and the motor at low RPM can't create any compression, and it won't. The cam really won't start working until over 3,000 RPMs. So really, these short, high duration cams are the best ones to use. Let's see. Okay, this is another thing a lot of guys make mistakes on. When you're putting up a new oil pump, see the new oil pumps have that special hole in the front? See, like Sifton makes and S&S makes. Okay, see this is the early oil pump gasket, and this is the late oil pump gasket. You see that? So if you notice, see, right here's the extra hole. Okay, so you have to drill that hole on a 45-degree angle right through the case, so it relieves the lower end pressure. If you don't do that, the lower end's going to fill up with oil, and you're going to have oil coming out of everything. Okay, another thing a lot of guys make mistakes of is the hydraulic lifters. Okay, so the holes in the lifters here have to be facing each other in a lifter block, or else the lifter isn't going to get oil. Another thing that is wrong, in the Harley book, it says you should get the push rod at the lowest point and then turn the adjustment 4 turns. But the book doesn't say the lifter is supposed to be empty. So what I do is, here you push right here, see like that, and you bleed the lifter. See the oil coming out? Okay, you bleed the lifter, get all the air bubbles out. Okay, you hold that down, put that in a little can of oil, you let it up, do that about 3 times. This will be hot as a rock. And then you adjust your push rods like they're solids. See? With the two 7/16 adjustable nuts there. So it just spins. This way you're not taking a chance and going 4 turns and bending the valves won't, hit each other. This way it's already bled, and you don't have to wait for the motor to fill up the lifters. Okay? It goes on and on and on. There's really a lot to know. I've been working on these motors probably for over 55 years. So if anywhere I can help you, give me a call, 719-683-2200. I'm open every day but Monday. I hope you guys learned a little bit. I'm not trying to be a big shot. I'm just trying to show you what I learned over the years. Have a great day.